One of the most popular things I hear from those looking to move to Florida is that they've heard of Tampa and they like the idea of living here, but they really don't know what it's like. So in today's video, I'm taking you to some of my favorite spots in the city. I'm gonna talk to you about some real estate, show you what's happening new in the city that is really exciting, and I'm gonna give you a glimpse of why Forbes ranked it as the #1 place to live in Florida at the beginning of 2023. Welcome if this is your first time to my channel, or welcome back. I'm Adam Morgan and I cover everything from the best neighborhoods to the top things to do. If at the end of this video you leave wanting more information, or you're like, hey, this Adam guy, he's pretty good and I want him to be my realtor, well, that's my bread and butter. So see that number on the screen? Give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email, and my team and I would be happy to help you and your family find your next home. A lot of people associate living in Tampa, Florida with the great weather. And it's true. All year round, we have some pretty decent weather. But my favorite thing about living in Tampa is the endless things to do. I mean, it's true. Everybody's outdoors soaking up the sun, and it really doesn't hurt that we have some pretty nice water views along the way. Along the waterfront here in Tampa, the 2.5-mile Riverwalk has really spiced up life here in Tampa. It gives us another attraction that's outdoors. It really connects all of our restaurants, hotels, things to do, museums. It's a history lesson. It's all action-packed, going right through the heart of the city. Here on the northern section, we have Armature Works, which is a really cool food hall, and it gives a place to gather. There's yoga on the lawns. Then as you come over, you got Eulalie, great restaurant by Richard Gonsmart and the Columbia Restaurant, if you're familiar with that. Then we have the outdoor Publix Waterworks, where the kids can get wet and cool off in the summer, and they have a nice dog park. But where I'm standing right here is a nice amphitheater setup. We have movies on the lawn when the weather gets nice. I love bringing my kids out here, and it just, again, it's a really nice place and a nice addition for us locals. As you explore your way down the Tampa Riverwalk, the next section is going to give you a nice variety of museum and entertainment options. You're going to have the Art Museum, the History Museum, and the Glazier's Children's Museum, which is my daughter's favorite. On the entertainment side, you're going to have Curtis Hickson Park, which has great live events, and every now and then you'll see a concert or two there. And then over at the Strage Center, that's our place where you can find the best musicals and Broadway light shows. Now, it doesn't have to be a chore to get down the Riverwalk. You can hop on the hop-on, hop-off taxi, which is a water taxi that stops along the way, or you can simply grab a bike or an Uber scooter to get around. All right, so we've made it downtown to a really exciting hub on the Riverwalk. This is technically the fork in the road if you're on boat. You can go right out behind me to the open water, or you can make a dogleg left and finish up the section of the Riverwalk if you're on foot. Right behind me, you're gonna see Jackson's and American Social. They're great eateries here with amazing views. You have all the boats coming in and out, which, by the way, if you wanna explore on your own, you can actually rent an electric boat or an e-boat right behind me for about 90 bucks an hour. Now, one of my favorite local eateries, went to school with them, Big Ray's Fish Camp is right over here. Great fresh seafood options, and you can always grab a cold one, and I'm never gonna turn that down. Now, as we finish to the next section of the Riverwalk, you're gonna head past Water Street, which is absolutely exploding now with amazing restaurants and some really, top of the line new developments. And then you're gonna finish off with Sparkman's Wharf and the Florida Aquarium. It's really easy to see why the Riverwalk is such a new shiny object and everybody's attracted to it, but really as a local, Tampa's been a playground for us for years. I mean, one minute you could be at the beaches and enjoying fishing and boating and getting on the water. The next minute you can go to a more rural setting and go horseback riding or four-wheeling or dirt biking or picking blueberries. From festivals outdoor all year round, the event calendar is absolutely loaded, from the pirate festivals to the strawberry festivals and margarita festivals. If you want to scratch that sports itch, you can go see a Tampa Bay Lightning game. You can go see the Bucks play, or the Rowdies or the Rays. As my kids grow up, I see the different phases of what they like. Just the other day, my wife told me, hey, you've got my 4-year-old, and guess what? I took her to see the horse races, and she loved it. So really and truly, as locals, Tampa is a playground 12 months of the year, and it really doesn't get much better than this. Growing up here, my family used to share great stories about the good old days in Tampa, where my grandmother and her sisters actually used to roll cigars in the cigar factories. My uncles used to go to the Boys and Girls Club, and honestly, there was some mafia stories sprinkled in there, but you really don't have to search far for a good old Tampa history lesson. If a history lesson is what you're after, look no further than Ybor City. I always suggest coming by day because you can enjoy the awesome restaurants, but you can really feel the old brick roads, the cigar shops, and these old buildings. It tells a story. Now, by night, get ready to flip the switch because the place comes alive with the nightclubs and tons of live music. All right, so we made our way over to South Tampa, known to many as the affluent epicenter of the city. It's got some of the wealthiest real estate in all of Tampa. And for those that live here, Bayshore Boulevard is right behind me. They get to enjoy the walkability, running, jogging, biking, or really just enjoying a nice sunset. Niche.com ranked Hyde Park as the #1 neighborhood to live in Tampa, and I can understand why. It has easy access to things like Bayshore Boulevard and Hyde Park Village, which has boutique shopping, restaurants, and entertainment. With the tree-lined streets and sidewalks and great schools and the charming historic bungalows, it doesn't get much better, but it's not the only place to live in South Tampa. With over 22 neighborhoods in South Tampa, it's hard to choose just one. They all have their own personalities and unique characteristics. So you have to sometimes consider other areas. So Palmacia, Bayshore Beautiful, Ballast Point, and Beach Park are just some great options out of the many. But the question remains, why would somebody want to live in South Tampa? My version is that it has easy access to interstate travel. There's great restaurants, shopping, and entertainment, and it's the boutique shopping and entertainment. It's not just your chain restaurants. You know, great schools, phenomenal neighborhoods, and easy access to everything the city has to offer. Can it get better? After leaving the South Tampa area, I thought it'd be really good to pit stop by my recent condo listing here in the Channelside Downtown District. Now, this is where you can get maintenance-free living. You get walkability, and you can live in all of the action. You can wipe away the responsibilities of maintaining a home or cutting the grass. You can go downstairs to the courtyard where there's a Michelin star rated restaurant, there's pickleball courts, there's a pub, you can get your nails done, or there's a Crunch Fitness. Everything is at your fingertips, and you can live in all the action. On our way to West Tampa, I had to stop over at Midtown because it's the perfect segue from South Tampa to West Tampa. It's a newer development and it has the perfect blend of living, work, and retail spaces. It's brought new life into West Tampa, similar to what Armature Works did for the Heights. But every area has its own story, and it's best to get in the community to learn a little bit more about West Tampa. In the late 1800s, the first cigar factory opened up shop in Ybor City, and over the next 30 years, another 200 rose up all over the West Tampa area. This employed tens of thousands of residents, and in West Tampa, you'll find smaller 2 to 3 bedroom homes that the workers called home. Smaller cafes like the one we're about to walk in right now are sprinkled all over the West Tampa area. We got here at 7 a.m. just to meet with some of the longtime locals to get their take on what Tampa means to them. All right, so who do we have here today?
Oh, my name is Tony Motorhome, related to a famous guy here in town.
Yeah, there you
David
go.
and Adam Motorhome.
All right. So you currently live in West Tampa.
Yeah, I do.
Tell me something significant about living in Tampa. What does it mean to you?
Living in Tampa, especially in West Tampa, not only is it historic, it has a lot of Hispanic culture. You have Cubans, you have Mexicans, Colombians, but at the same time, you have everybody from America discovering what Tampa's about. Yeah. It's about culture, it's about friends, it's about those relationships. It's waking up in the morning, you may hear a rooster crow, you can smell the Cuban coffee. If you go there in the afternoon, in the evening, you might smell some roast pork. People do that in our neighborhood. Yeah. You might hear people playing dominoes. It's a beautiful place.
Cool. So now we specifically had to meet here at 7 a.m. because, and I love this, but we had to meet here at 7 a.m. because at 8 a.m. you're meeting another group of guys similar to what's right behind you.
Right.
So tell me a little bit about this morning ritual.
This is kind of a ritual. You'll find people that come here that have known each other since they were children. Matter of fact, I have one of my junior high school buddies here with me. I've known him since we were 12 years old. We're still friends. And there's other guys here that know each other for 60 years. And you have a bunch of folks that come and they meet, they have coffee, and they resolve all the world's problems right here in West Tampa. Yeah. Now, my other place is a different crowd of people, but everybody's welcome.
And stories galore.
Stories galore. We solve all the world's problems. We talk about the big fish we got away and all the good things we do. It's a beautiful place.
Absolutely. And that's all part of being in Tampa and living in Tampa. But if you had to sum it up, and I know this is tough, everybody has a different version, but living in Tampa, and you've been here a long time.
Yes, I have.
What does it mean to you if you could sum it up in a short version of what's special about living in Tampa?
And I have traveled the United States extensively. Not only is this home sweet home, it's a beautiful place to bring your kids. It's a beautiful place to live. We've got the beach nearby. We've got one of the world's best airports right here in Tampa. We've got the Tampa Bay Bucks. We have the Tampa Bay Lightning. We have the Rays right across the bridge. We have beautiful weather. People would love to be here. This is where they want to come vacation. Imagine if you get to live here.
Absolutely.
And downtown is booming. The nightlife is booming. It's a gorgeous place.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. All right, so who do we have with us today?
We have Mr. Mario. Everybody knows me by Mayito.
That's right. And I know Mario. He's been around for years, serving me café con leche in the West Tampa area.
Yes.
I won't talk about how many years because that'll age me. He never ages. But
33.
How long have you been in Tampa?
I have been since 1975. So
okay.
What?
So we'll go there. Now,
yes.
With that said, he's been in Tampa long enough. But what is special to you about living in Tampa?
I love the people in Tampa, the community, especially the West Tampa community. Amazing people.
It has your heart.
Yes, absolutely. And of course, we got great realtors too in the West Tampa area.
That's right.
That's all.
And I would self-label him as the king of the cafes because I've known him always in the cafes. But anywhere around town, Mario's the man.
That's right.
Thank you, Mario.
Thank you, sir.
Coming off of Armature Works, following the river north, we come to the Heights area. Now the Heights are comprised of Seminole Heights, Riverside Heights, and Tampa Heights. And they all have a historic place in Tampa. It is considered a historic district, so you're gonna see these homes from the 1920s, and they're really these nice bungalows that you see behind me that bring the charm to the area. Yes, you still see some of the old brick roads and all that, but fast forward to today, and this community is really starting to come together and make their own place in the Tampa area. So what I mean by that is, as you go down Florida Avenue and Nebraska Avenue, you'll start seeing these boutique restaurants and shops and things pop up that you really only found out in South Tampa. Well, now they're kind of making their own area. However, it's a totally different vibe. You're gonna have this like artsy, funky, hipster vibe, and it's just a really cool thing going on here. So let me show you around. All right, so we made it to Seminole Heights, and who do we have here today?
Madison. My name is Madison Holmes.
Awesome. Madison, do you currently live in Seminole Heights?
I live just outside of Seminole Heights, but I was actually born here. I spent a lot of time in Seminole Heights.
All right, so that's actually perfect because a lot has changed over the years. So tell me, what have you seen the difference in Seminole Heights from when you grew up here versus now?
From when I was a kid, actually, I feel like it's come full circle. It's been a restoration of what I remember. I remember the cobblestone streets. I remember the alleys. All of the communities, all of the streets in Seminole Heights had alleys. I remember walking them with my grandmother. And I also remember that there were parks everywhere in this community. And so we're at a park now. That's one of the things I enjoy about it most, being along the river and all the parks you have access to.
Absolutely. And so obviously I kind of caught you on your walk in the park. So what do you like about Seminole Heights now? What stands out to you?
Well, the new changes that I really enjoy are the restaurants. I think the restaurants are first class, A1, not only in Tampa, but in the state of Florida. Places like the Mermaid Tavern, I really enjoy those places. And I enjoy the growth that I see, the new buildings, the new apartments, the young folks. They come with their energy, and it just it makes the community more pleasant to see the diversity.
All right, so we definitely made our way around Tampa, you know, popping in and out of some neighborhoods. So you have a pretty good feel of where to live or just the different communities within Tampa. And there's no questioning that we covered how to play or where to play, and that Tampa's just a playground for everybody. So how about working? So let's talk about the job sector for a minute. You know, jobs are really strong right now in 2023. As the city's been growing, the economy's been growing. You know, you can't say that about everywhere in the United States, but right now Tampa's on fire. You know, MacDill Air Force Base has always led the way. It employs 20,000 plus employees here in Tampa. But realistically, the health sector, you know, hospitals, research centers, that's a big thing here. Outside of tourism and your basic things, cybersecurity and really the IT jobs, the tech sector has been booming here in Tampa. In fact, Forbes has listed it as one of those cities that are really flying under the radar. So no question here, jobs are strong and you should have no problem finding something. All right, so that's our tour of Tampa. I really enjoyed taking you around some of my personal favorite hot spots, showing you some neighborhoods, and you got to meet the locals. So hopefully you have a really good insight of what it's like living in Tampa. And if you plan on moving to Tampa, see that number on the screen, give us a call, shoot us a text, or send us an email, and my team and I would love to help you and your family find your next home. Till that next video, I'll catch you later.